This bitch a goofy think I'm gonna fight. Hands down on the ground, let's rock. These bitches bark, but they don't wanna bite. But this Glock right here on my side. Let's ride the dick like it was a bite. And that bitch so goddamn fine. Came in with gang and they know we got motion. Fuck up the spot and then get to the O. When I was city, I'm whipping up potions. Get to the money, that's all that I know. Say what these niggas gon' do to get noticed. Back niggas wish they could live in their phone. Gotta get rich, I got people depending on me. I can't go like that, I can't go.
Just give me the swipe right down the code.
New record?
New record?
I can't even say it's new. Like, this is the open I had sent for like 2 years.
It's even sitting on verses.
Like, I have a bunch of shit. Like, there's one I sent to you, like, 2-3 years ago. I can't remember if you fucked with it.
Listen, I remember the first record that you sent to me that I sent back to you. I just listened to that recently. What's it called? Doughboy. That shit was fire, dog.
I think
that was your production, no?
Yeah, that was all me.
All right, that shit was fire.
I'm telling you, yo, me in my early days, when I was just trying shit,
right?
Shit, might as well find that right now and play that shit. That's how we want to start the episode. Fuck it.
Shit's fire.
Oh boy, I don't know which version this is, but we're gonna run it regardless. Oh, Vagez mixed it too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brody, you crazy for this one. Boy, Epps.
Your shit hot as fuck, cuz.
Say the word, we gon' slide. Stop hating, go grind. Don't worry about mine. You know I stay with that fire. Got God on my side. I ain't worried about dying. All these bags on my life, but I ain't really got time. Shorty feeling my vibe, though. Probably fly out to Cabo. Bring it shopping at Aldo. Keep it on for survival. I'm mixed filled with a Carno. Run up on me, get John, though. Back to back, that Fargo. I be feeling like Pablo. Your man pussy get his jaw broke. You know I'm living like a dog hoe. Don't be slamming my car, though. They ain't fucking with his gun flow. Went to France and Menards, though. Didn't even have a convo. Got my blocks in the lawn, so fuck the ops, get them all smoke. Give a fuck about checking in. Gonna talk, bring a check in. Fendi bag, got the F in. Got my baddies and fresh prints. Come fuck me and my best friend. We had to lay short the West End. Getting money, then let's win. I know some real lows in the West End. Small paper, never stress that. Got my money, then invest that. Get you hit by the sex app. Watch you pull up with a stretch like my city, let the leg clap. Fuck boy, shouldn't have said that. Be sick, you better dead that. Now they shooting where your head at. Say the word, we gon' slide. Stop hating, go grind. Don't worry about mine.
It's a sleeper.
Stay with that fire. Got God on my side. I ain't worried about dying. All these bags on my line, but I ain't really got time. Shorty feeling my vibe, though. Probably fly out to Cabo. Green shopping at Aldo. Keep it on for survival. I'm mixed filled with a Carno. Run up on me, get John, though. Back to back, that Fargo. I be feeling like Pablo. Look, I'm guilty of honor. I don't need me a bill. Nobody's fucking with me like I have open seal. Epps, you know this real. Come up and get you a feel. I might just do it. Whenever I'm in the mood, I might just pop me a pill. All I wanna do is give me some money, be married. For real. It's holy matrimony forever, a little best marriage. The city raise me up and turn me into a savage. You gotta edge my life, you can't just be a bad bitch. Don't even look at me if you out here looking average. I'm a bitch for real, I'm always where the cash is. Down the hitter still, keep it under the mattress. Always catfish, bitch, you not an actress. Be addicted to the lifestyle. Chain looking like a lighthouse. Water on me, not mic'd out. Stand out like a white couch. Don't worry about the price amount. Reach nigga and the lights out. Better view than the Ike Tower. You ain't never seen Paris pipe down. Say the word, we gon' slide.
It's a sleeper still.
You
need to push that out.
Might as well put this on the collab tape as your solo.
Yeah.
As one of them.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Because Girls Gone Wild is going to be one of my solos on there. Even though I dropped it, I don't care.
Keep it on for survival. I'm filled with a Carno. Run up on me, get John, though. Back to back, that Fargo. I be feeling like Pablo.
Sleeper.
I do remember mixing this record.
No, this beat is nasty.
Yeah, I remember. I mixed this at my house, Ingersoll, right?
I wasn't there when you did it.
But yeah.
It had to be them times.
Yeah, it had to be in those times. Yeah. I do remember it.
Yeah, that's my early Crow Gang productions. Like when I was really like, I don't got no beats that sound like this ever again. Like this was a time.
That was a one-off.
I even made this melody.
It was definitely a one-off for sure.
And start, you know what? Like now that I remember, it's like I really could make my own melodies because like this really wasn't shit. There was nothing to it, just some random sound. I said, all right, keep that on repeat. Just made the drums do all the work. You already recording?
Yeah, we rolling.
We're rolling.
Oh shit! And this is how every episode of the Cronem show starts. I never know we already started. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my nigga Blue Epps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, happy to be in the building. This is your second episode?
We're gonna call this the second.
All right.
When we gonna drop it? When it drops, you know?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Might as well drop it like next month. I think by next month we should have more than enough episodes to just go crazy with it, you know? And then everyone gonna try and come to the Cronem show to get on these episodes, and we're gonna be like, look, we booked, we busy. Just go to the website and book your episode. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just requesting off rip.
You know what I'm
To
saying?
be a special guest when you having the right people.
You know, like shit. Even Felly was supposed to be here as the female co-host today, but she ain't here right now. They say the boy Young Leaks, 52 Leaks might pull up. If he don't, shit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see him eventually. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Freaky Leaks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right, so speaking of Freaky Leaks, let's talk about crunk music. That's a crazy like segue, no?
Mm-hmm.
It is?
I think it's
All right. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so when we talking about crunk music, like just recently I was having a conversation with my homegirl, and I was telling her like, yo, we need to bring back that crunk era. Cause like, yeah, it was trap beats pretty much, but it's like just the energy isn't there. I know like, yeah, the club might get shot up and people get their face broken and whatnot, but like the tunes were heavy though.
I think that crunk music back in the day was morally about the production, the vibe, and the music. It had nothing to do. Well, it did have to do with outside of the music, like the violence too, because niggas just get real wild and shit and start hurting people. You know what I mean? If you like listen to crunk music back in the day and you actually went to like a concert or you know what I mean, you would see, you feel the energy. You know what I mean? And it would get people. It's kind of like the black version of a mosh pit.
That's exactly what I was saying.
You know what I mean? So it's very similar. Shit could get wild in there, you know?
I was saying like Travis Scott and like them boys, they're probably the closest thing to crunk. Just because of the mosh pit aspect.
So if crunk was modified and updated, that's what it would be. It'd be very similar to that. Travis Scott, those guys do concerts. Those guys get booked for concerts. And you know, speaking of that, the last time I heard that Travis Scott had something going on like that, you know, people passed away.
Yeah, like some kids.
Because majority is like teenagers and like 22, 23. I don't know the age gap, but it's youngins. Youngins are going to these places and wilding out, doing drugs and getting hurt and shit. You know what I mean? But there are a few artists out there that have that impact that could bring back crunk music. You know what I mean? Another guy named what's his name?
Duke Deuce?
No. This new artist I just started listening to recently. He's fucking really dope from Trinidad. Saint John.
Okay, yeah, I've heard the name.
He does
music,
concerts and festivals, and this nigga is mad talented, bro. Mad talented, like crazy talented. I know you say like, 'cause I know you're like a hard R&B head, so you don't be rating the rappers who sing and shit.
That he sing?
No, but the records that he does do, that he's actually melodically either rapping or trying to hit a note, it's fire. Fire.
I mean, I fuck with rappers that be on the melodic tip too. Like I listen to Dirk, Toosey, and them niggas too. You know, I don't listen to Rodway. If you too the person for me.
I can't listen to that guy, but Dirk, fire.
Word.
Fire. I fuck with Dirk.
Like his Signed to the Streets 3 album, I still be bumping that. Like more than like anything else from him. That's like from like probably 2018 or some shit.
His last album he dropped was fire too. The one he just came out with,
I
Recent
didn't
Prison.
even listen to that yet.
Fire. He's in deep thought.
I didn't even
Ironically,
listen
that's
to
the name
that
of the
yet.
album or something close to the album name, but he is definitely in deep thought. He's thinking. You got a lot of time to think when you're behind bars, obviously. So,
Crazy.
You know? He kind of knew that.
Yeah, he definitely felt
indictment
something was coming.
Yeah, that's obviously why anybody in this position they would have done the same thing he did. You know what I mean? In regards to, get right with your maker. Which is what he did. You know what I mean? He had all of his criminal charges removed. You gotta have paper to do that. But yeah, because, bro, like, he can't, if the amount of charges that he had on his rap sheet previously, he couldn't leave the country. Nobody's accepting him anywhere else. So he had to get that shit taken off.
I didn't even know that even happened.
Mm-hmm. He did. So at one point he came out and said that, if I'm not mistaken, that like, all my criminal charges are gone. I'm free. My charges are finally free, and I can get back to living normal life type shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that he's a extremely impactful artist, and there's not too many like him. He's the voice for real. Like, people really listen to that guy. Yeah. So, yeah, but I don't know. There's not too many, back on the crunk music tip, there's not too many people who can bring that back.
Honestly, Lil Jon was really that nigga that really put that shit together and held it together.
Definitely.
Like, with all the Lil,
Definitely.
like, yo, I'm thinking I want to do like a crunk type album, and I'm gonna have Vagez on there.
That's what's up.
I just want to piece that shit together. I fuck
Any
with enough
other-
artists in the city that I could put together like my own, like,
Compilation?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Word.
What other artists you think could fit the bill for that?
Just for like the crunk sound in general.
Because that's a very unique sound.
But here's the thing, though. The thing is, if we really listen to those Lil Jon albums, they had Jadakiss, Nas, and them niggas on there as features.
Oh, shit.
So it's one of those things where
There was some East Coast artists that would attempt to rap over crunk beats, but not too many. Because you gotta have a little bit of rhythm when you you know what I mean? You can't just like, that's just kind of like a hip hop artist trying to do trap.
shit,
You just sound
Mob Deep
off.
did it.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mob Deep were real gangsters.
yeah.
Who else was from the East?
Mhm.
I mean, fuck, 50 did. He rapped over the damn
Fifth's
beat.
got rhythm though. You can hear in his raps when 50 raps.
Like early on,
He's very melodic.
you couldn't mistake him for a Southern artist though.
At one point you could.
Yeah, because
At one point you could.
He had the twang.
100%.
And then it just disappeared one day.
It did, but I think he realized, like,
You don't need it.
I don't need it, and I have my lane. Like, gangster rap, hard New York, gutter shit is my lane. And I can do the features. People know I can rap over those beats, but most of the time it's just the gutter shit, right? But he took Ja Rule style and ran with it. He took Ja Rule's, because remember, Ja at one point was the fucking man. He was the man at one point. You know what I mean? He was featuring all R&B records and like R&B artists that were jumping on his records, and he was like melodically singing and doing his thing. And then 50 came in Bogart. What you supposed to do? It's competition, bro. If I feel I could do your style better than you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show you.
You ever listen to a full Ja Rule album?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I could never take him serious, bro.
I've never listened to a full album
No,
from him.
I could never take him serious, because even after 50 exposed him with like his background and him being Jehovah's Witness and like going to people's doors and handing out like chocolates and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, after I'm hearing that, and then kind of, I'm not judging him because I want to see for myself, but then just like listening to interviews, listening to his music, and like, I just couldn't put two and two together. Like, he wasn't really like that. You know what I mean? But his team was like that. People who surrounded him were like that. So that's what made it so convincing. Like his whole gangster act, like make it convincing.
Murder.
You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna hate. I was at one point listening to Ja Rule. Now, he wasn't my favorite or nothing like that, but I listened to the shit.
I was only listening to the sing-song shit. I was never listening to the... I mean, we like the beat for Clapback. That's all we could really say.
Clapback was good.
Was it?
I mean, at the
That's
time,
all- that-
listen, at the time it was good, but when you listen to it,
That wasn't a Clapback.
it wasn't really a clapback like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. 50's the king of trolls. and he's really good at it.
Like unless John them was gonna come out with like mixtapes every month, like Unit Radio.
And they didn't have it. They didn't have it like that. They didn't have the artist. They didn't have the pen to go. Nobody at that time could fuck with your unit.
No, that's facts. Especially
They were running through the whole fucking industry.
and
You know what I mean?
especially when they added game to the unit
Oh
too.
God! At one point, they were the strongest unit in the game. You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys, like, okay, Ja Rule's pen is decent, but the unit had people with multiple pens.
Yup.
You know what I mean? 50 was more hardcore songwriting ability. You know what I mean? And melodic tone, so he can do all the hooks and then give you a solid verse. And then you have Banks with the PLK, he was fucking destroying everybody. And then you had you had your guy coming from out of South. You have Buck, who actually had a pen, and he's from down South. And they say a lot of people down South don't have a pen.
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard for me to tell like till this day, like me and my dog still have like the conversation of who had the better album, Banks or Buck on the first album.
Fuck.
And it's like they're both right there.
Okay, so sales-wise, obviously, we know who won sales-wise.
So it's Banks, right?
Banks. But impact-wise, Hunger for More versus
Straight out of Cashville.
Straight Outta Cashville, I think it's subjective,
Word.
you know?
Because depending on the day, which one I'm gonna be blasting more than the other.
I think it's subjective to how you feel. You know what I mean? Because, like, you can, I think music is just subjective on the whole. You know? People's favorite artist is not everybody else's favorite artist. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can like this artist, and this other person can like this artist, this other person can like this artist. And then when you put them all together, you guys can judge on who's best and what's best. But, I mean, music's feeling to me, right? It's all feeling. It's how I feel. It's how the music makes me feel. It's how I rate it. If I don't feel nothing, then I can't fuck with it. I can sit from outside and say, yo, he can put words together really well. But I'm not feeling the music.
A lot of people are missing the soul.
Yeah, like there's got to be, like you got to have some sort of conviction behind what being said. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just doing it to do it. You're just saying shit.
Like, I got a homie that could write, but he can't rap.
That's why he should be writing for other people.
Like, I remember, like, I was looking at his rhyme book. I'm like, I could spit this shit. It started flowing, and I'm like, I could, but I won't. So,
You don't want to give it the sauce, eh? You don't want to get a sauce
No, he
with it.
didn't care. He would.
Oh, you what up?
But I don't want to be rapping next nigga's shit. Now, if it's some melodic shit, like on some R&B shit, then, all right, give me that. But you cannot write my raps.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about, like, personally for me, I've been writing. I've wrote so much music that I'm tired of writing. So I started freestyling my shit because I've wrote so much music. Even before I even started doing music in the first place, and I became influenced by, you know, hip hop and shit like that. I never, like, I just wrote music. It wasn't even about doing the music. It was just writing to express myself. And then that turned into eventually getting into doing music and shit like that. But I don't, like, everybody does something really well. So I'm not taking nothing away from somebody who doesn't write their music.
Just don't act like you're the one writing
names, but don't rob the man.
Don't front like you don't want writing it when you know you're not.
That's one too. And then don't give the man who wrote the shit. Do not give him the credit. You got to get that nigga the credit.
You know what I'm saying?
For writing the shit, you know? And a lot of artists do that. A lot of artists take something that they know is going to be a hit and somehow, some way, fuck that other person over and not get them their credit on it and get it, you know, credit on the actual project itself, right? A writing credit. But I seen, just around that topic, I seen a bunch of different records that I've listened to by artists of, like, favorite artists of mine. And I look down at the bottom and I'm seeing like 6 niggas' names under the writing credit.
That could be producers, though.
It better be.
Yeah, because producers could be put under writers, technically.
If, like, I understand there's a group input on, like, a bar or two, but if there's actually 3 or 4 people, whatever how many people, is they're writing the music with you, then is it really you that's writing it?
Like, niggas can't even give me a bar still.
You know what I mean? Like,
usually, probably because like you're not gonna give me something I would have said.
it's true. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. There's been multiple times that like I've said a bar or two, and like my engineer would say, "Yo, I like how you said it, but say it this way."
Like what? Like just like take a word out or something?
Like take a word out, or
No, that's different.
say it with emphasis. You know, say it like this. Say it with more conviction.
Yeah, that's you being
know,
produced.
Right. But somebody actually putting pen to pencil or pen to paper and be like, "Yo, there's a 16. Spit this shit." You know what I mean? No way. Like people, I don't know. People could tell. Like I think when you really hone in with your craft of writing, people can tell that it's you that wrote it.
You know,
They can tell.
you know it's getting bad now because like ChatGPT.
Well, because it's picking up on your habits. It's essentially breaking you down and then pretending to be you and then writing out something for you. Like if you were to do that and say, "Hey, I want to do this Drake record."
Mm.
And then it writes out a record that it think Drake would write.
You know,
You know what I mean?
it was the other day, my homegirl, she started to use ChatGPT just to test it and see like, can it really write a song for someone? Mm-hmm. And after she said, "All right, write a song about this topic, that topic, from the perspective of Lil Wayne." And honestly, the bars were trash, but it sounded like Drake could have spit it.
Really?
Yes, I was like, this is interesting.
Shit's dangerous, bro.
Cause it didn't sound like nothing Wayne would have said. It sounded like more something Drake would have spit, you know?
Chat
Very
GPT
interesting. It's like
dangerous.
ChatGPT is trying to tell us something like Drake's pen is coming from Wayne.
I think
Nah, I'm playing.
I was
We know
gonna say,
it's
I was gonna say like Wayne don't even write his shit. So, but then again, I'm like, I heard people were writing for Wayne too.
A lot of niggas got written for in the industry. That's why it's to the point where like, I mean, people say people are writing for Foxy, and other people say, nah, ain't nobody was writing for Foxy or Kim. And it's like, I don't even give a fuck. If I like the music, I like the music. But as long as they in front like they wrote it, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, to each his own.
Like, how could you sleep with yourself at night knowing that y'all here lying to the public every day you wake up?
I can't do that.
Just
Sorry.
because you're making the money.
Nah, I can't do that. So I'll just quit rapping.
You know what I'm saying? That's not me sitting here saying,
quit.
yo, you know I made that beat, but it was the next producer that really made it. But since I got him under paperwork, he can't say nothing. That's some whole ass shit.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll quit before I do that.
like, okay, for example, the project me and you are working on right now, we work on a collab tape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What we finna call it?
We don't know yet.
Like, I had one. Now, honestly, I did have a title and name. I said, I Can't Feel My Face, because Wayne and Juelz never got to drop, then I feel like we could do it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a good title.
I think we could do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be harder than what they would have dropped. No doubt about it.
I mean, I rate those guys as artists and their pen and all that, but I just feel like the world needs something new. You know, the world needs something new, and you know, upcoming artists that are coming out that have confidence and believe in themselves should put their shit out.
Hell yeah.
You know, you should push your shit out because there's too many people in the world that you have to have an optimistic, half glass full mentality. So
Somebody gonna fuck with you.
someone's gonna fuck with you. You know what I mean? Which
It
is
don't gotta
how it
be from your
begins.
backyard, your front yard. It could be fucking states over, countries over.
That's what I mean. For me, with this whole music shit, myself is busting out there first. Is my shit busting out there over being out here? You know what I mean? I don't really give a fuck to be known here in the city. I'd rather be known somewhere else, and then that trickles back over here.
And that's the only way it could work. So if you ask me, because like I keep saying, there's a ceiling that you could hit over here.
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean,
Like, we're supposed to tour in Canada. Where are we going?
us.
Like, we could go places, but not enough places. You know, like that bag is gonna finish. Like Like, you
Pretty
cannot get a
fast.
real bag just touring Canada on its own.
You could if the promotion's right. Shout out Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson is one of the
Okay, when you
dopest
put it that
promoters.
way. When you put it that way, you know?
Peter Jackson, one of the dopest promoters. He runs his own ship, runs it very well. He's very successful. And, you know what I mean? If anybody wants to know anything about promotion, they should be going to him.
Go for that consultation.
Yeah, you should be talking to him because he's very successful when it comes to that. So, yes, you could make money, but you have to have the right connections to do it.
Word.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, there's no camaraderie in music in this city. There's no camaraderie, bro. It's not like down south. Down south, there's artists that literally we don't even know who they are, but they're already making paper, doing shows in the south. Why? Because they take care of their own in the south, right? You can do a south tour of 3 cities
Pretty much. Like them.
and get a bag if you do one record and your record goes, right? You do everything you need to do on the record goes, right? It's being played, right? It's not busting worldwide, but at least statewide. So Atlanta, for instance, statewide Atlanta, everybody knows who you are now. You're getting 2-3 shows a week off the one record, just in your state. You're getting paid three bands because you're just a starter. You're just coming up. You're getting paid 3 bands, $3,500 a show. Okay, do the math. Do the math
Try
on
that
that.
shit in Toronto.
Do the math on that.
Do that shit in Toronto and see what you're going to get.
You know,
They're going to be like, yo, you could have this section. Here's a bottle.
yo, that's what makes being an artist in the city so discouraging because
And then
it's
they're going to try to holler at Vegas talking about, yo, you could get them on demand them show for the free. No, you better send some bread with that.
So to me, it's just like, I don't know. That's why everybody prefers to be in the States beyond all this politics shit, which I will not go down the rabbit hole with this whole politics shit.
I can't lie. Fuck with like the States heavy though. Like
Me too.
Like every time I go over there, like
Me too.
the energy just feels different.
It is different. You know what? They're more optimistic in the States and there's way more opportunity. Why? Because there's way more people. Way more people, right? So if there's way more people, then that means there's way more opportunity, right? And there's way more people with a bag that's willing to spend, right? That's not the case over here. Nobody's spending nothing on nobody, right? Especially when it comes to fucking music, you know? So States is where it's at when it comes to music. They're the one giving out all the deals. They don't want all the money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have the hubs. You have New York, California, you have Miami. Those are like the main hubs for music, right? And you have Atlanta, obviously being a huge hub now too. Well, they've been a hub for a while, but you know.
Yeah, even California still got it going in too.
Yeah, that's what I said. Cali, Miami, New York, and Atlanta. Those are like the main joints for music.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. It's pretty frustrating as an artist. You know what I mean? That's why I concentrate more on other shit and then kind of let the music speak for itself and, you know, do my own promo and whatnot. And you got to pay for promotion, obviously. You got to pay for promotion. But you got to promote elsewhere. you got to bust elsewhere.
I think what artists got to start doing, like we got to start having street teams again. Because we could do this internet shit all day, but you want to treat it like a presidential campaign. You want to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies, you know?
I think the internet is so powerful now that people's attention span is like nothing no more. People will drop an album, okay? Yeah, people are rated. We're promoting the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fire, okay? And it will be fire, obviously. A weekend after promotion, after the buzz is over and shit's starting to die down. When's the next project coming out? Yo.
That's why you gotta have some shit for real.
You have to have shit on deck. You got to be ready to go. But
No, I mean like, yo, like the content on that album has to be something that the people don't mind keep running back. Yeah, they want more, but it can't be no cookie cutter shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you dropped your album. Let's use Kendrick as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, he dropped GNX November or December, right?
I do remember.
And then he dropped the first video. when he dropped the first video, like what, January, February? Around January.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he just double back and finally dropped the next video when? March. And the people them go right back to the album again. It's like, yeah, we want that deluxe, but we will stick with just GNX. We don't care.
I mean, if the shit's fire, yeah, people
You know
are
what I'm
gonna replay it.
saying? So that's the thing. It's like the quality. It's like in my interview last time when Vagez was asking me about quality or quantity, I definitely do believe in quantity, but you gotta have some quality. Like you can't just be pushing out a quantity of bullshit.
There's a lot of bullshit out right now.
And that's why I can't support. That's why I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's hard for me to feature with anybody when they don't take their pen serious. They don't take their craft serious.
how you feel about artists that aren't on beat?
Say it again?
How you feel about artists that are not on beat but their bars are fire?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Like it's different if they're rapping in their own pockets, but offbeat is a different thing.
Okay, offbeat should be considered its own genre. No?
Like Jim Jones is on beat these days, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
But he's been offbeat in the past?
Like in the early days.
Like Dipset, early days?
Yeah. He was just doing bare run-on sentences for the longest time. And just throwing ad-libs in between them that were just long as fuck.
Yes. His music has definitely gotten better.
Way better. His new project,
Fire.
I'm not sure what it's called, but
Fire.
I did listen to some of it.
It's fire.
I've been
It's
saying
fire.
for a minute, Jimmy's the best in Dipset as of the past how many years.
Cam don't rap. Cam's a businessman.
Yeah, but even before, like, I would say there was a point where I stopped fucking with Cam's music. It's definitely after Killer Season. By the time he got to what came out, well, Crimes Pay, I wasn't really fucking with his music no more. But when he started fucking with Vado, it's like, okay, we're kind of back.
My thing is with Dipset is like, I'm not gonna just like call it the whole Dipset.
Just the main three.
Just the main people in Dipset. Okay. Like, if they could have, if the camaraderie was better and not for show, because the camaraderie that they show was just for show. Behind closed doors, there was turmoil.
Yo, J.R. Ryder just said in an interview the other day that it was pure fuckery going behind the scenes.
Bare turmoil.
He said that, yo, like when they're on tour, like if you drop asleep, yo, niggas is fucking wetting you up with buckets of water and shit, all type of fuckery.
I mean, that shows them, because look at the way that these guys are acting on camera. You know, they had a strong team. My favorite artist out of Dipset was Hell Rel.
Yep.
Hell Rel was my favorite artist out of
Fuck with
Dipset.
40 Cal too. But
40
Hell
Cal
Rel for
was
sure.
nice, but Hell Rel was the best out of Dipset. Before Jimmy, he was better than Cam. This is when he first came out of the penitentiary, bro.
His album was fire.
Fire.
For the
hell of it, fire.
Yeah.
Fire. You know what I mean? And
That was definitely on my fucking MP3 player.
yeah, like, so the way that everything transpired, and they like the main two guys, not even three, two guys. Cam and Jimmy are the main two guys. You're the boss and the capo, right? They call the shots on what's going on with the whole camp, but
That's what they told us.
right? But all I'm saying is that with the team that they had, with 40 Cal, J.R. Ryder, Hell Rel, that's the street. It's a street level right there. And then you have Jimmy, who's street, but also can do the corporate side of things, right? He could be commercial. He had several records that bust. You know what I mean? Ballin', so on and so
Pop
forth. Right?
champagne.
Yeah, so he had that, right? Obviously, Cam, you know, more the businessman side of things. You know what I mean? With the team that they had, they should have went a lot farther and did a lot more, you know, with the talent that they have. But
Pretty much they should have had a G-Unit run.
they should have had a G-Unit run, 100%. They should have been able to today, right now, be able to travel anywhere in the world and sell out shows, right? But instead, you know what I mean?
I was
They're
seeing
beefing.
was seeing something the other day. Jim Jones saying that he sold, like, he signed off his masters for life. So like
To
that's
who?
what I don't know.
You say he sold them?
Yeah, like
A lot of people are doing
but
that.
all his masters, like even what he's putting out today.
He probably got a huge bag for it.
He's
Like
saying
a
he did that
huge
like
bag.
back around, I guess, the balling days or whatever. Like
He did that back in the ball days.
yeah, and then it's pretty much like that contract is still active now. Like all his masters till now.
So he doesn't own any of his music.
He's saying he don't own shit.
So
like,
was that a bad deal on his part?
yeah, because you're about to be 50 if you're not 50 already, and you still got to keep putting out music to make money possibly. Or tour.
I never heard about that, but if that's the case, then
Because that does seem strange to me. I didn't know you could just sign off your masters for life, like everything that you make in the future. That's
I
a
thought
wild
whatever
deal.
you signed off of
Yeah,
was to the current point,
that's what I
and
was
then
thinking.
that's it.
Or whatever
and then-
was in the contract. Like let's say like the next 3 albums or something.
Okay, cool. But then after that, whatever I make is for me, right? That's what I would think. But if everything he's making, including his newest album he put out, that's also owned by the same person, so how are you making any money off of it?
On the publishing, because the masters and publishing 2 different royalties.
Okay, is that enough?
No,
So is that a
that's
good
what you
deal?
got to do.
Is that a good deal?
Shit, he gotta keep hustling for the rest of his days, I guess. And this is exactly why y'all need to know what y'all getting into, you know what I'm saying? I don't really think I'm gonna be signing no deals, but maybe, I don't fucking know, but let's make it make sense, you know?
100%.
I definitely do believe I could just get a bag independently and do my thing. Cause like the question is, as an independent artist, what is enough for you? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
don't think you got to be on the Billboard charts and all that. You don't even need to be, because there's artists that have never seen the billboards, and yo, they're living more than comfortable.
for me, you gotta offer me something. You gotta offer me a bag more than what I'm making now. I tell you that. Otherwise, it's pointless. Right? You gotta offer me something that's life changing. You know what I mean? But life changing to you, or life changing to me, or life changing to him, maybe something different. Right? Life changing to somebody, maybe $250,000.
Word.
That's all I need. Right? I could do the rest. Right? A hustler's mentality is, you give me that $250,000, I'm gonna flip that into 500. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're not even thinking music at this point. Like, music's not even on their fucking mind at this point. They're
Well, the
like,
only
you
thing
give me that bag at 250, I'm gonna turn it into $500,000. Fuck the music.
The only thing that's fucked up though is when like you're stuck in a contract, you can't release no music, so now you're just stuck.
That's why you gotta watch what you sign. A lot of niggas see the zeros.
I mean, it might not even be that you gotta watch what you sign. It's just that if they say, yo, you can't drop right now, a lot of artists get fucked like that. It's like you're going through whatever turmoil with the label, you're on your last album, and they're like, you can't drop yet.
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck for like 3-4 years.
I can't have that. As an artist, where you can't
Yeah,
even-
maybe you could put that in your contract. Hopefully you could, you know? Maybe that's possible, but
Okay.
that's
So,
wild though.
my situation is, I have my own record label, Finally Rich Records, which I've had for a few years. And then I sign myself, give myself an advance. You know, I figured if no one else was gonna sign me, I'd sign myself. So I did, and I gave myself an advance. Right? Okay, cool. So now, you know, being a CEO of your own label, you need to have multiple hats. You need to be doing everything
Until you can start finding people.
until you
that-
start finding people who could fill those gaps for you.
Yeah.
Right? So
In fact, after off camera, there's a couple of plugs I could link you with.
100%. 100%. So this Type A Records, shout out to Rick. And Rick is the engineer, vice president / you can call him the CEO too. I started working with him, I'd say about 2 years ago. Just 2.5 years ago, before my old engineer, Sheldon, from rest in peace, Sheldon, by the way. He passed away. He's very influential, well-known artist. He won a Juno Award. And I was working with him, and he basically told me like, yo, just get back into music. Like, yo, you're too talented not to be doing music. You need to fucking get back in the booth. So come put some work in, whatever. So I started working with him or whatever, and then I don't know, maybe I think 6 months, 7 months after, and he told me he was sick and he was diagnosed with cancer, and I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I was tripping over that. Then I was like, fuck music. I'm not even thinking about music right now. And then he just deteriorated. 4 months later, he passed. So some other people heard my music, and then introduced me to another guy, and then that other guy introduced me to Rick, who has his own studio and he has his own label. He heard my music and he's like, yo, you sound crazy different compared to everybody else. I want to sign you to a deal. So I got signed to this label. I own all my masters, and I don't need anything from him other than the platform and his connections to make my shit go, right? So this position is really good for me because it allows me to be free creatively and make my music, have a deadline. I'm working with a bunch of different other artists that are on the label. A.O. Biggs, he's another well-known artist in the city. He does like boom bap music, you know what I mean? Like hardcore hip hop music. Who else do we have on the label? Rowdy. He's nice. Rowdy Raw. You ever heard of him?
Nah.
He's from Don Mills area. He's nice. He's on the label too.
Young or older?
He's older than you too. He's late 30s. And there's other artists on the label too. Bunch of producers. But yeah, I like the vibe, I like the energy, and you know what I mean. We'll see where it goes. But the connections are there. Crazy Mix and Boozle Mix are my two DJs. Well, manager, DJ, from the States. They have a lot of connections too. They're Haitian.
The Miami ones, right?
Yeah, Miami connection, and then New York, because DJ Crazy Mix lives in New York. He's from Brooklyn, so yeah, the connections are there. Now it's just making the music, right? Making the music and putting it out. Got a lot of projects up and coming. Last 4 or 5 months, I've been recording like crazy. We've been sending records back and forth to each other. On the tuck.
You know what's wild? Yo, that what's the one where I started off on the intro? And it was the one with the beat switch.
Yeah. That's
I'm
the
so sorry
intro.
or whatever.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yo, you know what? You see when my computer crashed the other day and everything?
Yeah.
Yo, I lost a session for that.
Really?
Yeah, but honestly, I could still finesse it though, because honestly, like the light mix on my vocals was good enough that we could leave it as is, So your part, we're straight with that, because you sent me the stems. It's just that, like, I'm not about to try to re-record my part. That's the one thing I know when it comes to my melodic shit. Don't try to re-record.
Don't try to re-record.
Now, if it's some rap shit, that's easy, but the melodic shit, nah, you need to have that.
Yeah. You had me on my.
You know what I'm saying?
I sent that record to Lost You.
Yeah, I just listened to that.
Particular situation I got into in Tulum.
This nigga be
several
traveling,
years
don't
back.
nobody know. That's how you're supposed to do it. You don't gotta be on the gram with it.
Nah. A situation happened with this female, and she got the best of me,
Man.
But I spoke about that on the record. You know what I mean? Being human and talking about her and her vibe that she, her vibe that she gave me, and just the overall situation. It wasn't a relationship; it was a situation.
Those are the craziest ones.
Those are the craziest ones.
Those are the ones that have you fucked up the most. Because, like,
telling you,
shit
bro.
cool, and then they'd be like,
Telling
yo,
you.
boom, and you're like, what?
Telling you, it just went from a 0 to 100 way too fast.
Word.
And
I ain't doing no more of those.
nah.
I'm finding a wife tomorrow.
You want to?
I have to. When I'm old, my nigga,
Say it's wild out here right now.
It's been wild. It's been wild. Like,
Oh, kill me, man. Oh, kill me.
man, I'm getting grays in my beard and shit. I need to go find a one I could just go home to and, you know, she grease my beard on thing, oil up the beard on, you know?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed feelings about the whole thing.
You talking about the situation or what I'm saying?
Both. Definitely both. What I will say is, if you find the right person, you should ride that out, see where it goes. But I don't know, man.
Like, if it don't feel like old school R&B, I don't want it.
You want to have that feeling
If that feeling don't exist, I don't like
with the girl.
Yeah. If it don't feel like that, cause I don't want to have that Glorilla feeling with her.
That's what it is, though.
You know what I'm saying? So
A lot of these bitches are aggressive right now, dog. Super aggressive, and it's just straight to it. There's no like, you don't have to finesse a bitch anymore. It's like it's gotten to a point to where they just want to hear the raw version. They don't want to hear the Reader's Digest anymore. Shit's over with. They want to hear the raw fact, like, yo, nigga, what do you want? What is it?
And niggas still be pussyfooting.
This is what it is. But you know, I'll be on. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm out the loop with a lot of shit that's going on. I don't give a fuck about that, about my money. You know what I'm saying? I just don't care about what's really going on with this whole shit. I don't care, bro. It's just I've already been through that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've already been through that. So like, what's new about what's really going on? It's just the same shit. You know? So I mean, the internet is never lost, and it never will. You know? So if you're trying to find a match made in heaven, it's not the internet.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. You could find a 90 Day Fiance on there. That's about it.
It's just not a thing, bro.
You know?
Not a thing. I don't know, man. The world's pretty fucked up right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's pretty all over the place. You know.
So what you're telling me is, do not put that woman first.
Fuck no. Absolutely fucking not. If I've learned anything over the years of dealing with females, is I'm not gonna speak for every female, you know what I mean, because I can't. You know what I mean? I'm only gonna talk about my experiences or what people have told me about their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And any nigga that put a female first before himself always got the losing end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking time. Every time. It was only a matter of time. But that nigga got the losing end of the stick. So putting a female first over you, your hustle, your dream, your goals is fucking stupid. I'm speaking from experience for myself. I will never. My hustle comes first. 1,000,000%. My hustle comes first.
Because real talk, who takes care of the man that takes care of himself?
Facts. Hustle comes first for me every time. And yeah, there's just not a thing, bro, for me. It's not a thing. I've two people who I know. You know, one guy I won't, you know, he knows who he is. I won't speak his name on here, but he knows who he is. Very serious guy. Well-respected individual within his people who he brushed shoulders with. Very respectable guy. A made guy, so to say. Okay? And he put his woman first. He did everything for her. Gave her everything she wanted, the life, everything, all that. And I never seen this guy break down ever in my life, as long as I've known him. I've known him for over, 12, 13 years now. And I've never seen him be emotional over no female. And after his early, can't really call it early, they were together for 7 years, right? They did everything together, like two peas in a pod. You know what I mean? They're twins. You know, everything together. They did it together. You know, shit hit the fan, and that's when you really see what your relationship's really about. Is when shit hits the fan, not when shit's good, but when shit's bad, right? And if your foundation ain't strong enough, it's gonna crumble. And it did crumble, right? And he was fucked. He's fucked up. And he said to himself, you know, fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? I don't have any control over this. I'm like, you know, he's replaying what happened and like where he went wrong. And I told him, I'm like, yo, as your brother, I'm gonna let you know where you fucked up. You put her first. She became your world. And you forgot about yourself. You know what I mean? You forgot who you are. You forgot what your principles are and what you were built up on. And when she realized that, she fucking crushed you. Girls are evil, bro. Women are evil. I'm not saying all women are evil. Let me correct myself. But I'm saying they have the capability of being evil.
Yeah.
And when they're scorned, when a woman's, like, so, you know, they say there's nothing like a woman's scorn, it's the fucking truth. It's the truth, bro.
Hey, yo, coming up, like, which artist in the city made you want to even rap?
Not from the city. That's for sure. Artists that made me want to rap in general.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Old school hip hop to start off with before the trap shit.
Mm-hmm.
I only started doing the trap shit like within the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 years. I started doing trap stuff. Everything else was just straight hip hop. And G-Unit was a heavy influential for me. Heavy. Dipset too. Even before that, like old school Wu-Tang shit I used to listen to heavy back in the day.
I still be going back bumping that Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Today, like, I didn't really grow up on Wu-Tang, but as I got older, like, I could really respect and understand it the older I got.
Yeah. So if what sparked the fire was the old school Wu-Tang back in the day. And then from there it kind of just expanded.
So when it comes to Wu, who's your favorite member? Or who had your favorite album?
Well, my favorite member was Holocaust.
I don't even know who that is. I'm thinking
My favorite
Wu-Tang.
member-
I'm not thinking about, like,
yeah.
was he Killer Bees?
He was Black. It was Black Knights.
I don't even know.
Black Knights of the North Star. They're from California. You know, he's the one who was on RZA's album, Bobby Digital.
Didn't really listen to that one.
You never listened to Bobby Digital?
Like, I probably did listen to it, but it didn't stick with me.
Do you know his first record he came out with, where the girls singing Bobby Digital? You know that song?
Nah.
Okay, there's a rapper, the light skinned rapper with a wave cap on, with braids. That's Holocaust.
Okay.
That's my favorite rapper out of there. His pen is just out of this fucking world.
I'd say for me, like, my favorite member in Wu would gotta be Raekwon.
Rick's cool. Rick's dope. Ghostface
Actually,
dope.
I'm not gonna say my favorite member. I would just say that the Cuban Links album.
Yeah, those are
That's
classic.
like the top album for
classic.
me personally.
That's a classic. I do like majority of all the artists from Wu-Tang, but my favorite would be Holocaust. And then after that, I just started like listening to different shit. Trap stuff didn't come into the picture until, I don't know, later. A lot
I
later.
basically grew up on the South shit, like, from early, like Silk the Shocker was like one of my favorite rappers growing up.
Nah, I never listened to
And
him.
that sound crazy to some people.
He was a dope artist though. He was dope. I never really took that in like that. I did listen to down south rappers. I did listen to Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne wasn't really considered like a down south artist because he was a rapper. Like, he's a rapper.
You're talking about at what point?
So we're talking about like
Braids or after braids?
braids.
I wouldn't consider him a rapper at that point.
Like so,
Like, get
just
off the corner and
before.
shit.
So like I'm talking about the Carter,
No, braids.
the
was none
evolution
by
of
then.
the evolution of the Carter.
Yeah, at that point, like he was on some next shit at that
Okay,
point.
that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
that's the transition.
Yes, the transition. That's what I'm talking about. That's when I started listening to Wayne. Was when he started dropping that type of crazy shit he was doing. And then I don't know. I just started listening to like more everybody, really, just anybody who could rap. I would listen to them. I was
Lil Flip?
interested. A little bit, Lil Flip, T.I., and they were beefing at one point. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to listen to both of them. T.I. was obviously the better artist, but Flip was dirty too. Flip got busy. Flip was a freestyler. He got busy. He always had money. He always had fucking money, bro.
From young.
Yeah, bro. He was always getting money. So even the rap wasn't working for him. He already had the money, so it was believable what he was saying. You know what I mean? Because he had the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was out there? Scarface.
Shit, who else from down?
Down south.
C Murder was cool too.
C Murder was
I would
hot.
say probably like my favorite down south artist would have been BG.
BG was dope.
Yeah.
BG was super dope. Juvenile. Juvie. Can't forget Juvie.
Like Turk was cool too though.
Turk.
It was definitely
Yeah,
cool.
Turk. Recently, they just got back together, too. Wayne's just too intricate with the bars now. He's just too fucking far gone for him to dumb it down like that.
But he was still spitting back then too.
Yeah, but like,
It's just that he just wasn't seasoned enough yet.
no. Not even close, bro. Not even close. Even when he dropped the Show Me What You Got freestyle, the Jay-Z remix. He's going fucking crazy on that. Crazy. You know what I mean? And his pen is prolific. He's a prolific pen, bro. Prolific pen.
I can't lie enough. I be hearing some shit from where it's like, nah, you bullshit.
Yeah,
But it happens though. Like, you know, you don't got to go off every time.
No, I mean, but that's the goal though.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to go off.
Yeah, sometimes you could just coast, just cruise.
You can
control.
coast and cruise, but it's still gotta be lit though.
There's some shit I be hearing people going off over. It's like, nah, you bullshit. Like that's not the bar you should have been looking out for.
Yeah, it's true still.
Y'all mind too simple.
Yeah. I don't know. I my artist that I'm listening to right now changes all the time. So I said St. John.
Yeah.
I'm listening to him. Moneybag Yo. Finesse 2 times. Still on the Dolph. Forever be on Dolph. Who else? Trap wise. Heavy down south though, for sure. Not really much East Coast, to be honest with you. I'm over drill now. Drill's just
Actually, no. If I am listening to anything that is quote unquote drill, it will be from like 41. That's like it's a group. That's Jen Carter, Tata, and Kyle Rich. The three of them, like, they're cold still. But they be making party music too, so there's not just drill shit they're making. Like, they could do that, but they don't have to. Like, they're finding their lane, you know? So they're starting to stand out amongst the drill crowd.
who else? Boogie. You heard of Boogie?
Westside Boogie?
No. His name is Boogie.
From where?
He's from Memphis. He signed to CMG. ESTG's fire.
Yeah.
I listen to his shit too. But
Like, STG, like, in a sense, like, he reminds me of Heartless G.
yeah, he he reminds me of a young Jeezy. Just a lot more lyrical. Just the raw, but not the young Jeezy who, like, when he dropped his
Trapper Diet type shit.
yes, that Jeezy. It's different times, obviously, different lifestyles, but
We're not talking like flow wise or nothing.
no. More just like the grittiness, his approach, his flow. That's why Gotti signed him, because He just sounds different.
Yeah, because honestly, the first time I heard him, I thought he was from Detroit.
T Grizzly. I fuck with T Grizzly. Detroit.
Payroll Giovanni.
Okay. He's nice. There's another guy too who just came out of prison recently.
I feel like I know you talking.
He just came out with First Day Out. He went viral on it. I think it was like 5 months ago or something like that. Something Rio.
Oh, Real Young and OG.
Yeah. He's nice. Nice, bro. You still listen to Gunna?
Here and there.
After everything that's happened?
Here and there. I'm just here to listen to music I like, you know?
What about I told you about Vori.
Never listened
signed to DC. Dream
never
Chasers.
listened to him. I've heard him on a few tracks here and there, but never listened to him. Like
Vori's nice.
I just need to hear the right track, you know? I haven't,
Vori's nice.
I mean, I'm actually subscribed to his YouTube, but I haven't actually heard anything that made me say, okay, let me go add this to my Apple Music, you know?
Yeah, I have his last.
I think he just
3
dropped something like
projects.
probably like a few weeks ago or something. Like a project or something.
He could have. I only have his last project that he did, 2024, I believe.
Wait, so there's no artist in Toronto that, like you said there's a lot of shit in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anyone that stands out to you?
In Toronto?
Yeah.
I don't really know too many artists in Toronto. Like when I hear a record, half the time I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm hearing new records from people, but I don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Because I don't really check for artists like that.
Go Vegas. Yo, who in Toronto stands out to you? Like who that you fuck with, like music wise?
Right now, Pressa has a 6 song called Product or something.
Okay, besides Presso already been made it.
Yeah, like somebody
Like,
that
so
No,
has
he
made-
hasn't. No, he hasn't. What do you mean by made it?
Okay, put it this way. He's done way bigger things than the rest, we'll say.
Yeah, but he still hasn't made it. He still hasn't has a hit record that spans a worldwide audience.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't like that. When you say make it, I think Tory Lanez, I think Drake, I think Weeknd, I think Justin Bieber. Those guys made it. Those guys have hit songs international hit songs that people love and respect. And you know what I'm saying? Pressa doesn't have that. So he's still a part of the artist from our city that still needs to find that. If you want to be an artist that wants to be Drake level or Tory level. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even Nav, I would say, made it.
Yeah, Nav's. I listened to Nav's newest record he put out.
I wasn't really fucking with it. Like
I liked
if
it.
we go back a few projects,
That's his lane. I feel like that's his lane. You know.
like yo, the project he did where Weezy produced the whole thing, I was fucking with that.
The last 2 projects he came out with, or 3. I think it's the 3rd one. Yeah, I think it wasn't this one. It wasn't the one before. It was one before that.
Was it like something warning or something?
Yeah,
That's the one produced by Weezy.
Okay, that one was really good.
Yo, the beats were all hard on that.
Yeah, that one was really good. Really good.
Huh? Like Thug Gunna, Baby was on that. Pretty much like it was basically like a YSL album almost.
Pretty much.
That was Slime Nav.
Yeah, pretty
Exactly. That's when Nav was working with all the Atlanta guys, and you can
Right.
hear.
much. His flow and stuff.
Yeah, you can hear the influence. You can see that he's working with these guys. This guy was on records with Travis Scott and all sorts of stuff. Like how could we not say he never made it? He made it. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely made it.
Now, like otherwise than that, from the city, like I said, from what I hear, there's a lot of great talent.
What about Belly?
Belly,
XO. It's my guy.
Belly,
dope.
yeah, Belly made it.
Belly's dope.
I think Belly made it for the fact that he was able to go on Sway's platform and do his thuggy.
Oh, he did a dirty freestyle, no?
Exactly. So like
His
he's
pen
in
is
the
better
spaces.
than all those guys you've named.
Yeah,
All those guys.
he's in the spaces that these guys need to be.
Yeah.
I feel like the next up I would say is like Sad Boy if she continues her little pace, she can be one to blow. She makes great music.
Yeah, her first EP, I had that on repeat. Like I was telling everyone, like, yo, she's a breath of fresh air right now.
What type of what's her style?
Can't
Damn,
really call it.
yeah, you can't really call it a
Like-
style, really.
Like if there is someone else,
Yes, alternative
Poppy?
urban. Like it's pop, but it still has this grunge. Like I remember when the first song I heard was like a UK style grime hip hop record.
Okay.
You know, like it reminded me of that type of music, and it
but
was
with like a Brazil funk type of
yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
Like I don't know which producer she linked with first to get those vibes, but she did the right thing.
yeah. She did a really
I'm
good
saying, 'cause
thing.
even as a producer, like I just be listening to shit, trying to figure out like, yo, what's my next sound?
Good question.
It's a great
Yeah.
question, man. And because I feel like I like there's two ways to go about it in the future. You either going to create the market for ourselves and celebrate our own music and not worry about trying to be internationally known and just have the outsiders come to us and be like, yo, the artists in this market are really good. Or you're really just gonna have to get out of our market and go and test your music in other places. So make a Houston inspired record and go to Houston and try to test your song over there. Even being a Toronto artist, trying to convince them I'm in love with Houston culture so much that I had to tap in. You know what I'm saying? Houston people would love that, and I feel like the states market, like they're just more forgiving to people and accepting to people that want to come into their culture,
Hell yeah.
as opposed to replicate it and staying where they're at. Like they're gonna look at you like, yo, you rap, you're doing this, but you never even came over here to like tap in with the people. I think earlier you guys were mentioning about population and stuff. I don't think it's a population thing. I think it's a more of there's not enough people that love our music here. There's not enough people that respect our culture here. There's a lot more people in Atlanta that respect Atlanta music culture because there's more of our faces, black faces, in those spaces.
I agree.
That is the issue in terms of, you know what I'm saying, how a person can actually make it from the city. So if we don't love our culture and respect our culture and all the cultures that reside in Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal, if we all just be like, yo, we love hip hop, period, no matter where you from, because there's Punjabi rap. You know what I'm saying? There's Asian people doing music. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of cultures. There's Spanish people making great hip hop music. So if we're not embracing everybody culturally and saying, okay, this is our culture, hip hop is multicultural in Canada, and just go out and do tours and stuff with everybody, then we can't really capitalize on our culture here. We're always
It's
going to
never
be.
gonna happen. I just think that it's not going to happen here. I just think people are too close-minded. It's a crab in a bucket mentality here. If you're up and I'm not, and I don't see you with a reaching hand trying to bring me up, then I'm going to try to bring you down. And it's there's no, I can't blame one particular type of people. I think it's everybody. If you're going to put the blame with everybody. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to be successful here as an artist. You know? And then you have to worry about politics, who you're doing the record with. Do they have an issue with someone else? And if they do, then now their beef's your beef. And now it's just like, because the music's integrated with the streets. Let's not act like it's not. It is. Even though technically it's not, it's just music. And whoever you choose to do music with, that should just be what it is. But unfortunately, that's not what it is. You know what I mean? They bring the street aspect to it. So, you know what I mean? It's hard to bust as an artist in Toronto and not have problems. It's hard. You know what I mean? So
100% right.
that's why I feel like most artists just say, I'd rather go to a different market altogether, somewhere else, be successful there. And then once that goes, naturally organically it will trickle back to where you're from over time. And then when people find out about you, by then it's too late. You've already bust. You know what I mean? That's why I see a lot of the artists that didn't do that are not here. You know what I mean? They were at a point, they're about to get to that peak, but people from the city who had a problem with that, because the streets is intertwined, we can't see you up there. We can't see you up there and we're not there. No way. So unfortunately, this is what has to happen. You know what I mean? And then so it's just like, as an artist, why would you even want to bust here? Why? It's not the same. Like,
It's actually too easy.
Is it gonna equal out to paid shows? Is it gonna equal out to the right type of attention, the notoriety that comes with it? Is it gonna get you into the right doors, or is it gonna get you into problems? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very iffy when you're an artist, specifically our genre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our genre, not rock, not Punjabi music, not to say they don't have their own quarrels and their own politics when they're within their own community, but our community, where our music, bro,
It stands out.
it stands out. You know what I mean? So it's tough to really want to take your music there and not expect turmoil to come with it. You know, hatred and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But I'm still all for still trying to be successful at the end of the day. Like, you still got to go for what you want. You just have to, you know, take a different route to get there, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I do agree 100% with what you're saying, that the States is just, they as I was saying in the city before, it's like a community. It's a community over there, especially down south, especially Atlanta and Texas. These states alone, if you bust there,
Even
you're
Detroit.
set. You're set. You're set. You're getting paid 3 bands a show. You have a single that busts. All right, it went viral. Right, you're getting calls now. Right.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, okay, cool. You have a manager. Manager's saying, hey, you got 2 shows. You got 2 shows. You got 2 shows and an appearance this whole entire month. Okay, 2 shows for every week plus an appearance. Your shows get paid $3,000. Your appearances get paid $1,500. Right. So you show up to a club, they're going to give you a booth. They're going to give you $1,500, and for you to perform your record at the booth. Right. Okay, let's do the math on that. Right. 7,500 in a week. 7,500 off music, off one song in a week. Times that by 4.
You're right.
That's what these artists are doing over there.
Yeah, I know.
They're making a living doing this. They're getting a hit record. The record doesn't even have to be too crazy. It's just enough to get traction in your city, in your state. So goes back to what I'm saying. The rap community, the trap community, the community as a whole, people who've lived it, people who know about the lifestyle, people who support that music. You know what I mean? They come to your shows, right? They come to autograph signings and book signings and hat signings, and you know what I mean? They're doing this stuff. They're supporting the artists.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? We don't do that here.
And I also, last thing before I stop talking, the one more thing I would say also is that we don't have enough labels either. Like, you have Type A Records, you're assigned to them. We don't have any, like, One Umbrellas or OVOs or
No.
you know, so we don't have enough of those labels to even, like, put on artists to be like, hey, I think they're building. I've seen a lot more business savvy men and women creating their own things,
Creating their own labels.
and you know what I'm saying?
Independently.
Yep, I
And
see a
then
lot
getting
more
a bag.
coming out, but we need more. Like,
We need a lot
you know
more.
what I'm saying?
We need a lot more.
A lot more to handle the back end stuff of the artist, because a lot of the artists are uneducated. They don't know what the next play is. They don't know what the next move is. They don't know how to get on this and do that, right? So it's
Very
like
true.
they come into the game and it's like they're empty. You know what I'm saying? You got to fill them with knowledge so that they know what their next play is. And I guess the businesses don't understand, hey, if you pour into this artist, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get back a percentage. It's simple business, right? So I don't think a lot of people want to be business. They want to be stars. They want to be celebrities. They want to be in front of the camera. They want to be the face.
Mm-hmm.
We need a lot more labels out here, enough to just create the market, create the competition. You know what I'm saying? Create the culture.
Yeah. Do we have a culture?
There is a culture, yeah.
What would you consider our culture here?
The culture of Canada in hip hop, it stems from, and I hear this a lot, it stems from like the 80s.
Like Maestro Fest West?
Even before that, I heard, like before that, they say Rumble and Strong, going into Bronx and battling KRS-One, like those type of guys. And yes, Maestro's a part of that. Ron Nelson, you know what I'm saying? Like Mishimi, you know, a lot of the early Dream Warriors, a lot of those guys created the culture and the footprints for guys like Cardinal, Socrates, Choclair, you know,
Step in.
and then from then it was the Mayhems and the C4s and the Jet Blacks and the Lou Breeze and the Ristos and the Drakes and the Bishops, rest in peace. And then it moved on to the Hoodlums and the Sam G's and the JG's, the Cities, like, you know what I'm saying? The Heartless G's, like, and then it just kept going to Boogs and Killy and Smiley. And then it goes to Sav and Push Keys and all the newer artists.
Right.
So it's like there is a culture, but nobody is saying, hey, let me make a documentary to like really tell you guys how this shit in the city started to where it is now.
Right.
So there's lack of education
we
on
gonna
the
do that?
culture itself. I would love to do that. I would love to, but
Because, yo,
that's a lot of hard work, you know.
I mean, shit.
It's a good idea.
I'm not sure how we're going to start, but we could start somewhere.
It got to start somewhere still. Like, it starts with just interviews on what the culture is. I think that is what the main basis of that particular doc should be. Like, what is the Canadian hip hop
Yo,
culture?
that would be a docu-series. It wouldn't even be like a movie. That got to be a series broken out into episodes.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It's not you wouldn't have enough time to be able to break down the entire story in a couple hours. You need like several takes of several different people's, because everybody has different, you know, perception or perspective on how, you know, whatever their impact was towards the game or how they seen things, you know what I mean? So obviously the game's evolved. Like, it's evolved from where it was, you know, boom bap hip hop, you know what I mean? Like hardcore hip hop to, you know, to like, it's like trap now. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So trap is like the new rap right now. You listen to most records, it's just trap production. You
Even
know
the
what I mean?
pop records.
Yeah,
are sounding-
even the pop,
very
exactly,
trappy.
exactly, very
Yeah.
trappy, right? So, yeah, I think a docuseries would be dope if it's done right.
If it's done right, yeah.
If it's done right,
I agree.
but you know, I'm surprised it hasn't been done yet.
Nobody cares enough. That's the problem. Nobody cares enough. But I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it's either that or I think people do care,
yeah,
but not enough. Like I said, like just think about all the people you need to sit and talk with. That's hours of footage.
yeah, it's a lot of people.
Just talking to people about their story and the culture of our music. You have to talk to. There's like pinnacle guys you need to talk to. They need to be available.
Absolutely.
It might cost even some money to even get them on camera. And then there's the guys that move the needle that you don't know about. And you would want to have not just the artists, you want to have the producers, you want to have the managers. So there's 3 levels. And then the labels that were around. There were labels around from then to now. So it's like you need to have everybody's situation, like everybody's conversation.
Even with the labels, like, I believe, I mean, it's my own opinion, but I believe why, okay, just in general, when a label decides to bring on an artist, that's an investment, right? And they're going to want to do everything in their power to make sure that their investment has everything that's needed, access to everything, all of their connections, in order to get back money off them, what they invested into them. Promotional dollars and promotional campaign and videos and recording, all that costs money.
Yeah.
You know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you get, you know, $250,000 deal, right? And a lot of that money is going to pushing your records that you're going to put out, and you know, your videos and your campaign of your promotion and so on and so forth, right? And this company's taking a big risk on you. Okay? So most of the time, it don't work out. And they're not able to recoup their money. Now you're in arrears. Now you owe money. Right?
Yeah.
And people don't understand what deal is like. When you get a deal like of if it doesn't state this portion of your deal is yours to keep, you're gonna pay it back. You know what I mean? It's a loan, right? So so I say that to say this. Why would huge labels that do have the money, right, look at the landscape of artists, and not just in the States, but here too, right, and see what's going on in the street, see what's going on and how they entangle? Are we willing to invest in someone who potentially could not be here next year? Do you know what I'm saying? So as a label head or as a CEO or as somebody who's got a bag, right, and you're investing into this person because you want to recoup, you want to make money. At the end of the day, it's all about making money. It's a business. We have, like, people have to remember the music business is a business first before anything else. Even before the talent and anything else, it's about making money. And so as a huge label, you're going to invest into somebody, you're hoping to recoup.
That's right.
So if you see these particular people, they have talent, but they don't have the work ethic. They can't stay locked in to the studio and finish an album and do a press run and do this and do that, which is what requires to be an artist in the first place. You have to be able to do this. You have to be coachable.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are not coachable.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't even want to hear you talk about nothing. Where's my check? Where's my money? Right? I want to, go rent a car, rent a nice car. I want to, do this and do that. But like, it's like, why me? I'm thinking in them. I always think from a perspective of business. So I'm thinking I'm in the shoes of a huge, corporation that, or people who sign other people, a huge label like Universal, right? Universal's looking at different artists. They want to know if they can recoup their paper first and foremost. Can we make money off this guy? How long is this guy going to stay out of prison for? You know what I'm saying? So is he in a gang? Does he have gang ties? These things that we need to know. We're about to put a bag on this guy. Does he have prior situation with other artists in the industry? Who are they? We need to know. You know what I mean? So all these questions come up when they're going to sign a particular individual, right? And most of the time, those things get ticked off. It's very rare where you find somebody who's not in the mix, really talented, work ethic, who they can sign and they're going to recoup. What's the percentage? The percentage is what you see.
Yeah.
It's the main artist that busts.
Yeah.
Right? And the majority of those people are from states.
Yeah.
Right? You have your odd person from here who get that, right? And they put the time in, they put the effort in, they put the projects out, they've stayed out of trouble, they did everything they need to do. So now the reason why I'm saying all this is I'm going back to what you said about labels in general not being here in our city and why, okay, they're not being here in the first place, but on top of that, they're not willing to spend any money. They're not willing to invest into anybody. And that, I believe that's the reason why, is because we're wild as fuck out here. The guys that are really talented are still in the street. Right?
Facts.
So how the fuck am I gonna sign you? You know what I mean? I sign you, and here's a perfect example. Top 5 situation that happened. Academics signed him to $5 million. He gave him a $5 million deal. $5 million deal. And 2 weeks later, or something like that,
Straight to lawyer fees.
he's in prison.
Crazy.
He got locked up. And then he was hemmed up for a while, like at least a month before they let him go. And then I don't know the man's situation, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah.
I just know what I've seen. And that's just an example I'm giving you of somebody who's been signed to somebody else who has a bag, and then this happens. And this seems to be the case all the time for artists just like us, coming up. Like, I'm sure people do want to put down the money. Like, yo, we believe that you can make us some money. We believe you can be the next star. We believe you can bust. And then they're like, but,
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's why I think it's in our genre and our culture, it's just not gonna happen. In rock, in pop, in R&B, maybe, yeah, for sure, 100%. You don't hear a rock band, or people in a rock band or people in different culture and music. You don't really hear stuff about them like that. Getting into shootings and you know what I mean? Just wild shit. Like, you just don't really hear that. So they're willing to spend money on those guys.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I just think it's unfortunate. That's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate.
It is.
It's unfortunate that we don't have labels willing to drop money on us. But I can see why they don't. I can see why they're hesitant not to, because they feel they're not going to recoup what they've put in.
No, yeah.
And as a business-minded person, I would feel that way too.
No, me too.
You know what I mean? Who wants to drop $500,000 on an artist with a $100,000 signing bonus and a $100,000 advance? Okay, you get an advance, and here's your money, and we're going to use this towards your videos, towards your recording, everything. A month later, you're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. Sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate for sure. Definitely unfortunate. Yeah, man, that's just my take on it, anyways. Hopefully things change. I'd love to see things change. I'd love to see more camaraderie within the community here in this city. I'd love to see it. The talent's there. We have very, very talented artists here. I'm not saying there's not good artists here, because there is good artists here. But if there's no platforms for them to showcase their abilities in a way where they can get that support, it's going to be tough for people to make a living in music, like actually making money doing this. You know what I mean? It's going to be tough, That's why guys always resort to other things, because it's difficult to make money in music here. Getting a paid show, it's tough.
Especially a lot of them be getting their shows shut down because of street shit. The police be shutting that shit down.
That's what I'm saying. Everything intertwines.
Yo, that's like when I did Crody Fest back in the day. The boy them was up in that bitch for like the first hour. Like, they didn't shut it down, but they was trying to intimidate the situation,
Even when States artists come here and do shows, like at the Phoenix, it's heavily secured. There's like a lot of security there. Is that for the artist, or is that for the people that are there? Or both?
Good question.
And it's just, I don't know. It's It's a wild scene here, man. It's a wild scene in the city. Just don't get me wrong. I love Toronto, man. Toronto's my city. I was really raised and born here, bro. So I have nothing bad to say about the city. It's just the people in it. We need to fix up as a whole. You know what I mean? Not one individual person. I mean everybody. You know.
I think like in the next couple of years, there's gonna be someone to break the mold.
Hopefully,
That's gonna be on some like they're gonna be the one, you know? That's all I can really say. Like
hopefully.
you see like how I think the best example I got right now is like you see when 50 came in the game, like when he got his shot for real, like the energy was different. When Jeezy came in, like these were movements that was damn near worldwide, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
I definitely feel like we have that here, but we just don't know who it is yet. But when it happened,
Like why is Drake not, with the power that he has and the influence that he has, why is more opportunities not being given? That's my thing. Why? With the power that he has, he is the number one artist in the world. If he's not a 1A, he's a 1B. Why is the landscape of Toronto the way it is, the music scene? Why are we not able to, other artists not are able to bust out here like that? Why?
that's the question everyone's been asking. Like, you know,
He opened the door for us. He's opened the door. He's made it open for people to go through. But nobody's going through.
I think what a lot of artists want is for him to hold their hands. 'Cause I hear a lot of artists always complain and say he ain't doing shit for the city. But
This is what I'm saying. I
but then when you look at them, it's like, well, what
I
are
don't
you
know.
doing though?
yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Like, is there a reason for him to want to sign you? Like, yeah, you make good music, but what else?
Then that goes back to what I said when we were talking about with Vagez. Drake's a bag. Big bag. Drake has the power to sign anybody or put them in a position to be signed. Right? Yet, that's not happening. It hasn't happened. That I know of. I haven't seen it. So, if he's not willing to do it and he's from here, why are those other big companies going to do it? You know what I mean? And they're way more corporate than he is. He's like, he would be considered something at the street level. So, these are all very interesting questions that yet to be answered. And I think when they do get answered, then there can be some sort of movement forward. But he's the doorway. You realize that? He's the doorway to that next artist you're talking about going. Like basically any successful artist that has come out of the GTA area left and went somewhere else and bust out there or is currently still out there. But what artist has literally been homegrown? And I'm talking about rap, not like rock or R&B or soul or anything else like that. I'm just talking about our culture.
I don't got an answer for that. I don't think there even is one.
That's right. It's only him. He's the doorway.
He's not even a rapper necessarily.
He's like a triple threat. He's an actor, he can sing, and he can rap.
He's a pop star.
So he's bigger than just a rapper. Right? So that's always been my thing is like, you know, I always see major artists from pinnacle cities, pinnacle states within the United States. Them being the hub and opening the door for other artists.
Yeah, we seen Gucci do that.
We've seen Gucci do it. We've seen Yo Gotti do it. We seen even some of Yo Gotti's artists do it on a smaller scale, but nonetheless, they're opening doors for their guys or guys at their level to bring guys into the game, right? We're seeing that firsthand. You know, RIP Dolph. Dolph did the same. Dolph has PRE, right, with Key Glock, right?
Yeah.
And they signed a bunch of artists under the umbrella. You know, what's his name? He's from Memphis too.
Moneybagg Yo?
No. He's a Grape Street Crip.
Oh, you're talking about J Fizz?
Moochie Grape.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Big
with
Moochie
Dolph.
Grape. Yeah, with Dolph, right? And he's another artist that was signed, and there's a few of them that are under PRE umbrella that were signed. My point is that there's opportunities were given. Like he gave these people opportunities. He opened up doors for these guys. He had many people signed under him. Moneybagg Yo, a couple people signed under him as well. Yo Gotti had the whole CMG, a whole bunch of people signed under him. Right? I just haven't seen that yet.
All I know is when it's my time, when I'm in position to fucking start signing artists, and we following that no limit route with it. Like when I say no limit, I mean the Master P way, not the G Herbo way. Cause you know youngins might be watching this and not realize there's another no limit. But yo, remember no limit? Like 1 year, they dropped like 20 albums. Like their roster was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's dropping like every other week.
That's what we need. We need that here. You know? We need a rap city. We need a fucking Tigger in the basement here. You know what I mean? This is what we need. Display talent, more camaraderie, less violence. Show your skill. Put your skill on display. Let that talk for you. You know what I mean? That's what we need to be doing. Too much podcasts. People talking on podcasts all the time.
And they ain't talking about shit.
They're not talking about nothing.
I'm saying that's why they gotta come to the Cronem show.
They're just talking about violence. That's it. That's all. Our city is known for violence, bro. Think about it, bro. Our city's known for violence, bro. Other than the CN Tower and good food, what else are we known for?
All right, so if we're talking good food, like, I need to know a couple spots that's worthy, because I was asking everyone yesterday, like, put me onto a breakfast spot, because I was out here mad early, and I didn't know where to go. I just went to Denny's.
The food situation here is okay. Well, let's see. What do you like to eat? Caribbean food?
I'll say that's my number one, yeah.
Okay, cool. This is my personal opinion, but the best jerk chicken I've ever had has been from on the Eglinton Strip. Past the Eglinton station, going west, on Eglinton, where you hit Eglinton Oakwood. There's two spots that's there. Where these
Just
two
the
Jamaican
intersection alone
guys.
sounds valid.
There's two guys out there that have their jerk chicken barrel, and they're making jerk chicken outside, and they're always battling each other. A friendly battle nonetheless, but they're battling each other because one, you're taking money off my plate. We both are selling the same type of shit. So whoever's chicken better
Like
wins.
next door to each other?
Next door, yeah.
Watch that they own both of them together.
No. It's separate. It's separate.
Okay.
It's separate. But though their spots open until like 4 or 5 a.m. So enough mans would go after the club and go eat over there, right? And prices are good, decent, and it actually gets the busiest. The busiest time is after club hours. So say around 1-ish to around 4. There's a huge lineup outside. In the summertime, it's lit. They play music, like it's a vibe there. So
And that's the culture right there.
yeah. So I would, if for jerk chicken or Caribbean food, I would definitely go there for sure. What else?
Actually, yo, there's a spot I'm gonna put you on to. It's out in it's either Whitby or I think it's Whitby. It's in. Where's the option? I can't remember, but it's called Chatter Paws. Like
That's Caribbean.
I believe so. It's like more high end.
Okay. Not like what's that one? The Hollywood one, the Scotty Bonds or whatever it's
Not
called.
familiar.
It's
Is it in Toronto?
There's a couple of locations, Scotty Bonds or whatever the fuck it's called.
But not Chatter Paws. It's fire still. My homegirl put me on.
Are they Jamaican back there?
I have no clue. But the
This
food is
matters.
proper.
This
though.
matters.
Nah. When I tell you the food is proper, the food is proper. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo,
it's
this
a
matters,
restaurant,
bro.
Like, yo, it's a restaurant. It's not like a Jamaican
Okay.
restaurant. It's a restaurant. Like, when you go in there, you're like, let me take some pictures in this bitch.
The reason why I say it matters because East
for the authenticity, for sure.
100%. 100%. I'm not saying you can't do your own rendition. I'm not saying you can't do your own style and modify it because that's cooking. Cooking is modifying. I get that. But you can't call it authentic oxtail when it's been shredded. How do you shred oxtail? The fuck is this?
All right, so I'm gonna ask my homegirl like who worked in the back before you
Crazy.
go over there.
No, bro. Anybody shredding oxtail, they need to be fucking canceled, bro. There's no you can't. It's not shredded pork. You know, like shredded pork where you put on a sandwich.
No, I don't. I don't eat pork.
Okay, but I'm saying, have you seen a shredded pork sandwich before?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay,
Like that's how real it is.
okay. So you know when you go down south, right? You've been to Atlanta.
Yeah.
They eat a lot of pork over there. You've never seen like a shredded pork sandwich or a shredded. Okay, but that's what people normally do. Vegas, you seen a shredded pork sandwich before? Okay, cool. So you can't shred oxtail. That's not a thing.
Like it does sound wild still,
It's
even thinking
very
about
wild.
it. Like I can't even
And
imagine
I've
it.
experienced it, and it was horrific.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was horrific, and I'm still having nightmares about it till today. Okay, I love oxtail. My mom put me on it at a very young age. I have fucking Caribbean parents. Okay, and
She did
they
the right
used to
thing.
make heavy Jamaican meals. Heavy. Right. So this is what I come from. Right. Anybody, any Caribbean who's Caribbean, you would experience the same. Your parents just make a specific type of food that you love. So I'm used to eating a high quality oxtail. Okay? Same thing with the jerk. High quality jerk. I'm going to some of these places here in the city and I'm being robbed.
It's player.
I'm being robbed. I'm paying $20 for my meal and they're giving me a quarter piece of chicken that's been sitting. Look, at first, this is the absolute fucking no-no. You should be canceled for this too. If you're putting gravy on jerk chicken, that's a fucking problem. There's no gravy on jerk chicken. Gravy goes on stew chicken, not jerk chicken. I'm saying the jerk chicken was made in the gravy.
Oh, okay. We're done here. We're done.
That's like, what are we doing here? Like, what is that? These are the two experiences that I had going to two different Caribbean restaurants in Scarborough. And Scarborough's known for having good food. And I was disappointed, heavily disappointed. I had gravy in my jerk chicken. I saw the gravy and I saw the jerk chicken sitting in the gravy. So it's no longer jerk chicken anymore. And I saw shredded oxtail for the first time
It's
in my
literally
life.
like fucking probably like baked. That's like
Yeah, so
baked
the
chicken at
the
that
jerk
point with
feel,
jerk sauce.
You know the jerk taste you get, the smoke
Yeah.
from the pimento wood, right? That's official jerk. That wasn't there. It's gone. It tasted like stew chicken.
This is sickening.
So yeah, so just don't go there. Don't go to those places. Eglinton, Caribbean food, go there. Really good. I'm sure there's other places in Scarborough that have really good food because Jamaican people really know how to cook a good meal. No disrespect to any other Caribbean.
And shout out to the Ghanaian food spots.
You know what I mean? But
A couple Nigerian ones are on point. So, as a Ghanaian, I can't just fuck with just any Nigerian food, So shout out to the ones that get it right.
It's true. I like all sorts of different type of food, not just Caribbean food. I like Italian food as well. I'm big on Italian. Seafood. I love seafood too. Surf and turf is my favorite though. Surf and turf. Steak, lobster, or steak and king crab legs. King crab legs. Those are my favorite. If you can find a good restaurant that makes that, like a steakhouse that makes that, I'm there, 100%.
All right, so yo, what I'm gonna do, like before I leave the city this weekend, I'm making my mission to find somewhere that I could actually tell you to go to and it makes sense. I know it's not gonna be an easy thing because there's a lot of bullshit out here lately, but I'm making my mission.
Definitely is. Definitely is.
Because pretty much if he fuck with it, Connie gonna fuck with it. That's a fact. Because she mad picky.
Yeah?
Hell yeah. There's been a few spots I found. Like, you know when you're just on TikTok and like a restaurant ad pop up and you're like, shit. You know, I hit her tell her, yo, look what I found. She's like, nah, that's why it's bullshit. Don't do it. And it's like, oh, okay. I be trying.
There's another spot, a well-known spot, Caribbean spot, in the Eglinton and VP area, which is not too far away from my studio, where I record. And in that mall, there's one guy there who's been there for, it's like Gerrard Square.
No, that's not VP in Eglinton. That's Eglinton Square.
Eglinton Square,
Yeah.
correct. And there's a Jamaican guy that's in there, but it's not run, but he has I guess an Indian person working in the back too. Anyways, his spot's all right.
Yo, V, can you let in Denzel? He's in the hallway. So like, yo, we met in a cool place, y'all. For real. We met at like making the band camp type shit.
Man, that was a crazy time.
But yeah, we wrapping up this episode with Blue Epps and all that. But Denzel just popped in, you know. But yo, is there anything you want to say before you wrap your shit up?
Just look out for the music. I'll be dropping my shit soon.
Just in time for Gemini season, because you know how we get around them
Yes,
times.
sir. Yes, sir. I got a bunch of music to drop. Video will be done soon too.
Oh, you shot someone with Sonny not too long ago, no?
Yeah. He's in the works with that.
I'll even shout out Sonny Visuals.
Sonny
Like,
Visual's my guy.
real Toronto legend.
Yeah, Sonny Visual's my guy.
R.I.P. P80, come on.
Yeah. So we got a couple things in the tuck we're working on. Trapaholics mixtape will be dropping soon. Video will be dropping soon, and then I'm dropping singles, 1 to 2 singles every month. I got a year's worth of music already in the tuck, ready to go. So I'm just ready to launch. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm preparing for right now.
Well, shit, we with it.
I mean, I appreciate being on the show, and you know, like I said, my request from earlier on, I want to be a special guest.
All right, so shit, you about to be you about to be the co-host for this next episode. We about to do.
Dope, super dope.
Like, I thought you said don't. I'm like, what? What the fuck?
No,
You said you
I
wanted
said
to.
dope. No, I said dope, super dope.
All right, so shit. Finally, there's Crow Gang,
Yes, sir.
Cronem Show, the GTV Network, Man Them Show. What else we missing?
That's it.
Shit, we got Denzel XI in the cut, top producer, top engineer. You know,
Absolutely.
he gonna take some vocals that don't make sense and do the best with them.
It's my
I
job.
seen him work a miracle. I seen him work a miracle. Shit. Like, we gonna get into that, but we out.